At the end of every year, I like to take stock of things that are working and not working for me. And it's not because I want New Year's resolutions. You guys know I don't really like those. But I do see a new year as a fresh start, right? A way to maybe right some wrongs or change behavior so I don't continue making the same mistake. Almost like it's an opportunity to change the patterns that I don't like. And so that is why today I'm going to offer you my 10 regrets this year. And I made notes. So let's get into it. Number one, and this is a big one, this is probably my largest regret, or it feels the largest, is wasting time on non-reciprocal relationships. I wasted a lot of time this year because I've been feeling lonely in Austin. So I've wasted a shit ton of time trying to make friendships happen and pursuing relationships that are with people who aren't available, aren't motivated to see me, or frankly, maybe just don't like me. And I put all this energy into it. And every time it's not reciprocated in some way, I'm left feeling worse. And so going into 2024, I'm not going to do that. And that doesn't mean if a friend doesn't text me back, they're not my friend anymore. It means that in the relationships that were just little sprouts that I was trying to like fertilize and water, if they haven't grown into some kind of plant by this point, they're not going to, and I have to let it go. There was this girl on TikTok. Do you ever hear those like hard truths and you're like, oh, I needed that, but God, that was painful? She does yoga and like spouts wisdom. And in one of her TikToks, she said things that would have made her 20s easier. And one of them was, if people don't make time for you and don't get back to you, they don't like you. Move on. And I was like, I had to pause the video. I was like, that's a lot to swallow, but it's true. And it doesn't mean that they don't think I'm nice, but they don't want to be friends with me. And I just need to let that go. I need to stop wasting my time. Number two is not prioritizing, kind of rolls off of number one, not prioritizing my real friends sooner. I have tons of friends in LA and I should be making an opportunity to text them, call them, go visit them. I've been in Austin for 2.5 years and I've only gone back to LA, I think 3 times. That doesn't work for me. It's not good. So I'm going to prioritize that more. I'm going to make more trips, invite more people out, take more opportunities to fertilize and water the friendships that are already these trees, right? I've been cultivating and growing these friendships for sometimes like 20 or more years. So I'm going to do that more. And I don't know why it took me so long to even realize that I wasn't doing that. And as I'm talking to you right now, my friend Rocio texted me, so I will get back to her. That's a true friend. Third thing that I regret, trying to stay up on all the things going on in our world. And I know people might not like this one, but this is mine. These are things I regret. You tell me what you regret. Now, trying to keep up on everything in the last, 4 years. What year is it? What's happening? What is time? I don't even know. But trying to keep up on all of that has completely burned me out. I talked about compassion fatigue a little while ago. I think it's a big piece of that puzzle. I think it was definitely one of the catalysts that pushed me into that feeling. And I have to start to learn that it's okay to not be 110% informed. It doesn't mean I'm going to disconnect completely. It's not all or nothing. But I don't have to stay up on it every day. It actually makes me feel worse. And when I take breaks from the news and from social media, even if it's just during my work day, I feel so much better. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. And I also want to put this out into the world that not being fully informed does not make me a bad person, nor does it make you a bad person. We all have our limits. The fourth thing that I regret is not placing more strict boundaries around my time and energy. I can get so easily sucked into ancillary issues and problems because I care for people, right? And if someone comes into my life and asks for my help, I'm going to offer it. Or if somebody needs this kind of support, I'm going to give it. No, that's not healthy. I have to have boundaries around my time and around my energy. And if I'm feeling worn out and I can't, I need to say that I can't. And that doesn't make me a bad person either. I always bring this guilt around with me every time I say no to something. It's the recovering people pleaser in me. I'm so sorry. See what I just did there? Wow, that wasn't even on purpose. But I carry this around with me where I feel like no is like an insult or like a disrespect or something that's like rude in some way. And it's not. It just means I can't. And I need to learn to say that more. Hold me accountable. Moving on to number 5. And I talked about this in my other video where I'm sorry. I cried. I cry on camera. I can't help myself. Shooting all over myself. I second guess myself all the time. I feel like I should have done more, made different decisions, or like I should feel some kind of way. I should be excited. How come you're not? Guilt, shame. I have to stop that. I tell you all to not allow this, and here I am allowing it in my life. I'm so sorry. Again. Anyways, I need to be nicer to myself. I'm just referencing my notes if you're curious, because otherwise I get off topic. But there's a difference between, having goals in life or things that we want to aspire to do or be, and being consumed with everything that I'm not. And I need to remember that. Moving on to number 6, overworking and staying too busy. I can see a theme here. I don't know if you can see it. I can feel it. But not having boundaries, so building off the other one, not having boundaries around work and life. I know everybody loves like this work from home type thing, environment, mode, I don't know, societal shift, but everybody's loving it. It does have its perks because you can have appointments in the middle of the day and you can walk your dog and you can, I'm afraid I was going to wake mine up by just saying that WALK word. But you can do all those things that, are important and helpful, and it makes your life more fulfilling and more well-rounded. And I don't believe we should live to work, but I do think we should be working in an office or at least have separation of, church and state, work and home. Because the fact that I work at home and I live in my home is really, really hard for me to draw lines. Like even right now, this is not, I don't know if you can see that, but it's 7:48 at night. Shame on me. Because I need to have boundaries around it. But in my defense, contractors showed up, weren't supposed to, when we were filming at 4 and started pressure washing. I couldn't film. Pushed everything back. But again, no excuses, Katie, no excuses. So I don't have to use my intense self-discipline because it can be very helpful for me. Self-discipline has kept me going through school. It makes sure that I always release videos when I tell you. I can be consistent. That's important to me. But my self-discipline doesn't have to be a weapon that I use against myself. I can use it to move forward, but I don't have to use it to hold me back. And I do that all the time. Number 7, I regret not traveling as much. Oh, Sean and I recently were so fortunate to get to go to Torino or Turin, Italy. And God, I missed it, you guys. One thing Sean and I love to do, just random information, is we love to just wander about a city and let the city tell us what we should be doing. We don't like a lot of plans. We're not plans people. We have the things that we want to do. Like when we went to Paris, for instance, I knew I wanted to see the Eiffel Tower. I know. I wanted to do that. I'd never been. I was amazed by it. It was so cool. We did the whole trip up through it. Think what you will. I loved it. 10 out of 10 would do again. We wanted to do the catacombs. You got to go to the Louvre. Like there's certain things you want to do, but Sean and I like to kind of free ball it. We like to walk out in the city and let the city speak to us. And in Turin or Torino, it was amazing. And when we were there, I just kept thinking, honestly, unconsciously, not purposely. I'm not going to take credit where the credit's not due. Unconsciously, I didn't really work when I was there as much. I mean, I was there to do work for the Juventus soccer team. They were so wonderful. But I didn't do extra stuff while I was there because I just needed that travel. I needed to wander through a city. I wanted to try different foods and drinks and say hi to people and chit chat. I needed it so much and I don't know why. I mean, obviously COVID kind of stole that from us, but I feel like for myself, and I think Sean would agree, we need to prioritize travel more just for the sake of travel because it's so refreshing and almost like life affirming in a strange way. So, and I also made notes about that saying nothing will change if I don't take the steps to get there, like saving and planning, right? I can do that. Number 8, the thing that I regret the most is not journaling as much. Now, I love journaling, and I've gone in on and off of the bandwagon with it, or fallen off the wagon, I guess, as they say, like in recovery. But like, I will start journaling and I will do it. And then I honestly, I'm real time talk with you. I did not journal through COVID like at all. And that was like a super overwhelming experience. And then when I moved here, even moving here, I didn't journal then either. Another super overwhelming and dysregulating experience. It wasn't until my neighbor Karen and I decided to do the artist way that I was pushed back into it. And oh my God, I forgot how life-changing it was or is. And I am not as regular as I'm being honest. I'm not as regular as I was with the artist way. If anybody doesn't know, the artist way is this workbook you do. It's supposed to help you tap into your true creative self. We all have creative selves. I know some of you are like, I'm not creative. You are. Don't put creativity on a pedestal. We're all creative in our own ways. And so the artist way has you journaling every day, I think for like 12 weeks, I want to say. And I did it for probably like 95% of those days. There are a few days I was like traveling, or I didn't make time, or I forgot my journal, blah, blah, blah. But it was so helpful. It helped me feel heard in a weird way because I could get it out. It also helped me like answer some questions that I had rolling around in my brain, because I just thinking about it doesn't necessarily lend itself to solutions or greater understanding or even a deeper understanding of self, like what I'm really feeling. And journaling helped me kind of bring that out. Like, why do I think I'm feeling this way? Why am I feeling so much compassion fatigue? Why am I feeling so irritable? How come I'm not feeling connected here? Why am I unhappy? Those are all questions I can pose to myself because I actually know the answers. I know this sounds weird, but this is like kind of why therapy can be magic, is because we as the patients have all the answers. We just almost like, you know, when you take something in your house, Sean does this a lot, and you like stick it away in a safe place. My friend Harriet just told me she did this and then she couldn't find it. And Sean does this too. You stick it away in a safe place and then you forget, you hid it from yourself, essentially. You forget where that safe place is. That's like what happens in our brain. We have answers to our very complex and complicated problems, but we've tucked them away in a drawer and we forgot which drawer it is. And therapy allows you to like walk into your big house filled with all these drawers or like apothecary bottles and check and be like, is it in here? Nope. Is it in here? Nope. Is it in here? Oh, a piece of it's in here. And we start putting it together. And that journaling's been so helpful for me to find those lost pieces. So I don't know why I haven't stayed on the wagon longer, but I'm doing it. 2024, here we come. Number 9, we're almost there. Not prioritizing alone or quiet time. So way back in the day, in an alternate life of mine, I was a sales rep. So I drove around Los Angeles for my job. It was amazing that I was alone in my car, blasting my own jams like all day. And until I stopped doing that, which has been like, I don't even know, long time ago now. But I remember in those first couple years, I didn't realize, it took me a while to realize how valuable that alone time was. It sounds silly, but we need that. I need that. I need quiet time. I need alone time. I need to be able to jam to my music. And the car is like a beautiful place to do that, but it doesn't even have to be that. I mean, it's not like Sean is always like, we have to be attached at the hip. We actually have 2 TVs now. Fancy. And so we could be in 2 separate rooms, watching 2 separate things, doing our own, whatevers. I need that time. And I haven't prioritized it at all, really. Yeah. I remember it was last year, though, so I can't put it in 2023. It was in 2022. My girlfriend Lauren was getting married, and she had a bachelorette party out at Frio River, and I drove out there by myself. And it was like 3 hours or 3.5 hours, I want to say. And I needed it. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. So I need to prioritize that. And I used to, when I was in Santa Monica, even go on these long walks in our neighborhood because we were just like on 26. So I could just walk around and meander, and I would listen to podcasts. And I didn't realize how much those daily walks meant to me. And I haven't implemented them here at all. And I'm feeling it from all angles. So I need to do that. But I have been taking more baths. Baby steps, baby steps. Finally, the 10th thing I regret in 2023 is comparing myself to others all the time. Everyone is doing their own thing out there in the world. A lot of my friends are doing some really cool shit. But comparing my path to theirs it's never going to make me feel better. And also, I do want to normalize or get more comfortable with the fact that it's okay to be intimidated. It's okay to be jealous. Those are normal experiences. I speak for myself. I judge emotional experiences a lot and be like, oh, jealousy is a bad thing. No, they have something that you would like to have. That's a normal human response. If I act out of it in malice or in some kind of harmful way, that's bad. But I can look out at something and be like, oh, they have this beautiful home in Santa Monica, my city. I'm so jealous. That's okay. That's normal. And I don't have to compare myself to people all the time. It's exhausting. It frankly makes me feel terrible. And I tell you guys not to do it as much. One of my favorite quotes is comparison is a thief of joy. And that's probably because I feel it like viscerally. And so I don't have to keep doing that. I regret that I did that so much because I don't have to keep talking shit to myself all the time. Making, just making myself feel worse when we're just different, and that's okay. And comparing, we're too different to compare. It's not apples to apples, right? Let me check my notes. Yeah. This is a good one. I said I don't have to talk shit to myself or make up reasons not to like them just because I'm jealous or I'm intimidated. I don't have to do that. Why have I been doing that? So those are the 10 things that I regret this year. That I'm not going to do those things in 2024. I'm going to do my best, right? Baby steps. It's 10 things. It's a lot. And I don't do this to be negative or to focus in on the things that shoulda, coulda, woulda, or be a downer. But I do like to acknowledge the things that I wish were different, that aren't helpful, the things I'm doing that I feel like are holding me back. I feel like I see this as an opportunity to kind of change and grow, to recognize the shit in 2023 that I just want to leave there, like close the door on that, like forget it was there. And that won't happen if I don't take stock. And so this is just me taking stock and hopefully encouraging you to take stock, because some of these things aren't really huge things. Some of them, like prioritizing my alone time or making sure I stay up with my friends, my true friends back in LA. Like, those aren't huge things. Those are things that I could do on a more regular basis. And I really just see this all as a chance to learn and do better. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. And I think so often we place these huge, that's why I don't like resolutions. We place these huge goals or things that we feel like we need to achieve. And so much of our lives, so much of my life is just small things. It's just in the daily tasks. It's in the little stuff that I know I like to do, but I don't make time for. And so this is just my video reminder to myself, and hopefully helps you to do those little things. We don't need these huge resolutions of like, I'm going to get so fit this year. I'm going to stop eating blank. I'm going to start doing this working out every day. I'm going to stop talking to toxic people. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Our resolutions or our things that we want to change can be like, you know what? I would really like to talk to my friend Joanna more. So I'm going to try to call her more often. That's great. Those are the things that actually change how we feel. Those are the things that make me feel better, that are impactful for me. So I'd love to hear if any of the things that I regret are things that you also regret, and what things you'd like to do more of. What are your small steps? What are the baby steps that we're going to make to feel a little bit better? So maybe 2024 isn't filled with as many regrets. They will still be there. We are not perfect. This is, again, not all or nothing. But just hoping to get myself out of these like bad behavioral ruts. Anyways, Happy New Year. I'm always so grateful. Don't cry, Katie, get it together. I'm always so grateful for each and every one of you. I want you to know how much your comments impact my life, how much your support means to me and my family, how much I appreciate each and every one of you for sending in videos to be in videos, for joining Patreon and YouTube memberships, for getting in the comments and telling me, having a question, telling me how it was helpful or not helpful. All of your feedback, all of your participation is so incredibly valued. And each and every year I'm just reminded of how lucky I am. So thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for helping me and all the people you may not even realize you've touched this year. 2024 is going to be wonderful. Here's to a new year filled with new adventures and less regrets.